Y'all know what time it is.
Y'all know what
It's
time it
that
is.
real talk, straight talk with
Ooh,
the
you
royal
know what it
queen.
is.
with the
It's
Royal
straight
Queen.
talk
Hey,
with the
check
royal
in Straight
queen.
Talk with the Royal Queen.
Y'all know what time it is. It's
Yeah, yeah,
Straight
yeah.
Talk with the
Hey,
Royal
we
Queen.
straight talking with the
Yes,
Royal
baby.
Queen right
It's
now.
that time when you finna hit that real talk, straight talk with the royal queen.
Hey, it's your girl, the Royal Queen, and I am here with Miss Naya Williams. Thank you
Hi,
for
everybody.
coming.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Of course, this was supposed to happen, so here I
I'm so excited, Naya. Thank you so much for coming. I want to go ahead and get started with you, Naya. Um, you private a lot
I
of times.
am. I am. I had to become private. I'm still open to a lot of things, like when it comes to stories that can help people, um, advancing in their life or mentoring young girls, whatever I need to do. But a lot of things in my life, I had to become private because sometimes I felt like I overshared things, and I just had to pull back on doing that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm excited that you're here because I know you are a private person and just sitting here, you opening up. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
I'm a little nervous, because I've been like anticipating and wondering, like, oh my God, what's this girl gonna ask me? But hey, y'all definitely know I am an open book to a lot of things, and I don't put anything under the rug. So if it needs to be said, I'm going to say it.
Absolutely.
And I really don't care how I make nobody feel. Oh, okay. Oh.
So now I've known you since the sixth grade.
Yes.
You and I became friends in the sixth grade.
We did.
I found out you were dating my cousin.
Yes.
At the time.
Yep. Young girl.
Yeah.
young.
And you just became more like family to me. You know, we stopped calling each other friends and started calling each other family.
We did.
Okay.
From day one.
Yeah. From day one. I want to get right into it. Your sister.
Yes.
You lost your sister at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with that?
I was 9 years old. I was going to All Good Elementary, and my baby sister, Rashonda Lee Williams. Just I won't go all the way into details. I want to make it as short as possible. I want to get people to understand because a lot of people did know me at that age that are from Marietta. Because let me go back a little bit. We weren't born in Marietta. We grew up in Cobb County. I'm a Grady baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Grady baby.
See, Atlanta girl.
Yeah, I am. However, we moved to Cobb County when I was young. So all my elementary was in Smyrna, and then I started going to Allgood Elementary. So those that knew me at Allgood Elementary, they knew my baby sister as well.
Okay.
So one day, we were getting off the bus, and some lady, I can't even recall her, I think her name was Victoria, actually, my mama's friend. And she came running through the little trail we used to walk. Me, Jaquila, Janetta, Jack, Monique, we all was walking. Oh, somebody done hit your sister. Y'all come quick. And so we just remember taking off running. And my mother, the adrenaline must have kicked in. And I don't think I remember it was my mother taking off running up McIntosh or MacArthur Drive. And she got hit by a car. If she would have lived, she would have been in a vegetable state her whole life. And my mother had to make the decision if she wanted her to live like that or if she wanted her to, they were going to cut the life support. My mother made the decision to allow them to take her off life support.
Yeah. So I know that was a tough time for you guys.
It was very tough. I feel like that was like the shape, that began to shape my life because I didn't understand grief at that age.
Yeah.
And so when you don't really understand grief, it starts to manifest in you. And as you get older, you start to do things and you don't understand why until you're able to dig deep on why you are doing some of those things you're doing. So I really feel like her death set the tone of a lot of things that transpired throughout my life.
Yeah. So Naya, how was life coming up for you?
Ooh, girl, Roosevelt Circle. How was life for me? It was a lot of different things. It was fun because, when we moved to Roosevelt Circle, we met Jack and Keela and Netta and Monique. And funny story of how we met. Me and my sister used to be looking a hot mess every day, hair standing on top of our head. Mama didn't comb our hair. and Jack and them, they would talk about us. Like, we would be walking by their house and they would be talking about us and stuff. I mean, just like, ooh, look at them. Like, why they mama don't comb their hair? You know, like little girls. So then one day, they were outside playing football or something. We were little girls. And Seneca came over and said something about, oh, they want to fight y'all or something. Seneca had said to us. And so we went over there and we started playing with them and stuff. And then that was like the topic. They was like, yeah, we was going to fight y'all. Oh. It was so funny.
That sound like Keela.
But yes, Keela and Monique were the main ones. But, you know, that set the tone for us as far as our relationship. And we were friends our whole life. You know, everybody know that. Yeah. But, you know, it was fun. Life was fun. We had a lot of sad moments. You know, my mother was a drug addict. And so we went through a lot, you know, as far as sometimes we weren't able to pay the bills or we didn't have food to eat. My mother, though, even though she was going through her addiction, she still tended to, you know, love on us as best as she could and all the children in the neighborhood. Like, everybody knew where their kids would be at my mama's house. So, you know, life was just, it was, I'll say this, and I try to be honest about a lot of things in my life. I grew up, though, even though life wasn't all bad, it wasn't all good either. Yeah. And there's a lot of moments in my life when we were younger that I hated. Like, I hated living on Roosevelt Circle. I'll tell that to anybody. Yeah. I hated it because I felt like, you know, you see so many people, so many of us come from mothers who were on drugs or fathers that were in prison for a long time or just not having that support system. And I just remember just looking around. We would be outside playing and I would just be looking around like, this is just stupid. Like, why are we living over here? Like, I am not going to be over here. Like, I did not like living on Roosevelt Circle because I felt like I wanted more. And it was never about, you know, seeing other people when I went to school had more than me because a lot of us had the same amount of stuff. A lot of us didn't have anything. But it was just, I did not like living on Roosevelt Circle as a little girl. I didn't. But I knew that that's what we had to do because we did move around a lot. Yeah. We moved, I could probably say 4 or 5 times, maybe even 6 throughout Roosevelt Circle and MacArthur Drive, that little circle. So, you know, life was tough, but, you know, we made it. We made it do what it do at that time in our life. So, yeah, it wasn't all bad.
Naya, you have 5 beautiful kids.
I have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you manage being a single mom?
Oh, girl. So when I was 14, I had Shay. Everybody knows Shay was everybody's baby, you know, in high school. I'm very blessed that I did have her grandmother, Georgia Lee Coleman, rest her soul, and my mother. By this time, you know, when Shay was born, my mother got clean. And Shay was actually one of the reasons she got clean because that was her first grandchild. Yeah. And so when I had Shay, you know, she was the only child for 4 or 5 years. So I had all the help in the world. You know, my mother wanted to make sure that I finished school. Lee would just like, I'm coming to get Shay. We want you to finish school. So they made sure that I did finish high school. And then, of course, as I started to grow up, you know, got fast in the world or whatever, and I started having more children. And so those were moments in my life that I'll never regret my children. Yeah. Never, ever, ever. But being a single mother was so hard for me that, you know, when my sister and I were in our mess and we was out, you know, partying all the time, and drinking all the time, my mother was there. Yeah. So even though we were single mothers, I take my hats off to my mama. Because my mama still allowed us to do what we needed to do, and she was going to be there to pick up the slack for us when it came to our kids. Yeah.
You know, Naya, why I respect you so much as a friend? I watched you every day get up and go to school.
Thank you.
Every day. You got up, you went to school. When we got out of school, we walked to Wendy's.
We did.
We had a job, you know, and like you said, you had your mom there to support you, but I saw Naya get up and go to school. I saw Naya study. You know, I saw Naya work, and I know that could not have been easy for you at the age of 14.
It wasn't easy.
So I always take my hat off to you, and I always tell people, Naya is one of my strongest friends because I saw it firsthand with you.
Thank you.
You know, and I love it. And I just want to tell you, I'm super, super proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, why do people think that Naya is a bitter baby mama? Why do you think people think that?
You know, I truly believe that people think that because I used to hear things like, oh, she's keeping her kids from their dads, and oh, she mad because he moved on to another woman. First of all, I always feel like when you have children and as you grow up and you see your children start to grow, you have to put yourself in better environments so that your children can thrive as well. So I was never going to be one of those mama where y'all going to look back and be like, I used to see her children over there in such and such a neighborhood looking a mess. And so I said that if that's where he wanted to hang at, my children ain't going over there. No. Right. So they would say, oh, that's when the rumors was always, oh, she keeping her kids. No, I'm not. I just believe that if you can't put yourself in a better environment, my child ain't coming. Yeah. And you're more than welcome to come in my house, because I've never lived, as I grew up, I've never lived in an environment where I knew my children couldn't thrive. Yeah. I've always made sure they had the best roof over their head, always. So I don't know. People always thought that I was mad because their fathers decided to, move on. No, I probably was mad because they moved on and got with another woman that had kids and chose to take care of their kids and not take care of their own kids. So yeah, I definitely was mad about that, but never bitter. Yeah. Never bitter. Yeah. No. Bitter has never been a part of me.
Y'all heard it.
Yeah, never bitter.
Let me sip to that.
Yeah, let me sip to that as well. Yeah, no, bitter is not.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Now, what was some challenging things for you being a teen mom?
I think the most challenging thing was just trying to learn and understand motherhood. That would be first and foremost, because being so young, you still want to experience all the things that young people do, and sometimes I wasn't able to do that, even though I know my mama was there, or if Lee was there to get shade, or, it was just some things I knew I was going to have to miss out on, and I would be mad, because I'm like, I want to be outside, I want to be this, and I couldn't do that, But there was a lot of moments I could, because my mama would be like, just bring me the kids, and I'd be like, okay, mom, I'm finna drop the kids off, Yeah. My mama never had an issue with keeping the children. But one thing I will say about my mother, I respect her because she didn't play no games when it came to us getting our children. Even though she would watch them for us, she gonna be on that ringer the next day. Come get your kids, and then if she couldn't get in touch with my sister, she gonna say, come get all 6 of them. Come get them all. So that's why I always ended up with them, all of them, which was never a problem because I love my niece and nephew as well. So it was never a problem. So my mother made sure we still did what we needed to do as a mother. A lot of things that I know we could have did better. I've had those conversations with my children where I felt like I fell short as a mother, as a teen mom. But it was a struggle. It was just a struggle.
Yeah. Naya, you and I share a secret.
Ooh. I already know what it is. I already know what it is. Go ahead, girl.
We share a secret from when we was a teenager that we've talked about it amongst ourselves, because we laugh about it now. Yeah. And do you ever think sometimes, like, what if we had made this dumb decision? What if everything had played out?
I think about that often. I think about it more now as I look at the state of how many young people are out here going to jail, spending the rest of their lives in jail and just doing ridiculous stuff. And I think about it a lot. And I actually thought about it today because I was like, dang, like, what if we would have did that? I was like, we probably would have just been getting out of prison or something. Yeah. We would have been doing 25 to life. We done some foolishness like that.
Yeah, we would have.
Like, yeah. What were we thinking? We weren't thinking. We couldn't have been thinking.
We weren't thinking at all.
We were trying to get some money. That's what we was thinking about, trying to get some money. But you know what? But I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that in that moment that we were about to make a split decision that could have changed the course of our life forever, we were able to snap back. That wasn't nothing but God.
It was God.
That was nothing but God, because we were ready.
Yeah.
We were ready.
Yeah.
We were ready.
We were ready.
But I'm just so thankful that God was like, he had another plan for us, because that would have changed our whole life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had my children. I wouldn't be where I am today. We would have probably just been getting out of prison had we done something, made that decision.
You are so right.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes. Won't he do it?
All the time.
Naya. So, of course, I have to talk about this with you. I don't know if a lot of people know that Junior is my cousin. And that was one of the reasons why you and I became really, really close.
Yes.
I do want to ask you, do you feel like a lot of people did not believe the accusations against Junior?
Yeah, this is a tough subject, even to this day, because when I replay it back, and I told you, I think y'all saw my post when I was like, I woke up that morning and I was so, just felt bad. And I went and looked him up. And I was like, dang, this is the month that he got sentenced. But I truly feel like I lost so many friendships, acquaintances, people that I cared about, all of those things. Because when my daughter, and first let me say this too. I'm looking at the camera. My children are very aware that I'm talking about this. So don't come on here talking about why am I speaking about this. I've already spoke to this about my children. They the only one that matter. So, when my daughter first came and told me that what he did to violate her, I immediately believed her. Because first of all, I'm always believe my child. When my child told me that happened and she was quiet, Nana never said anything. So she was a very quiet and timid little girl. So when she came and told me that, I absolutely believed it. And then that set the course of everything else. And then here come she's a liar. Oh, your child is lying. She's lying because you talking about me. You just still want Junior. You still want him. That's why you mad. Y'all making up these lies. When I say I felt like I was at it with everybody, even other baby mamas. Why are y'all arguing with me about something that this man that has done this thing to this child? I lost so much respect for women, people that I looked at and was like, dang, I really cared for this person. I thought we were cool. Y'all standing over here. But my child said this happened. And y'all gonna look me in my face and tell me that my child lied? Oh, I don't F with you either. Yeah. That's fine. Because I'm going to stand 10 toes down about my kids. Always. Always. So, yeah. We can go deeper if you want to. This is a subject that I'm very passionate about. I get very passionate. I get very emotional about it. Because I know the effects that it has had on my children. I know the effects that it has had on other people. Those that had to fight their way through life to become better. I go on and on about it. I want to do let me calm down.
So let me ask you this.
I'm sorry, I got to calm down.
I understand.
This subject really
Take your moment.
Gets to me.
I understand. And I know everything. You're my friend, so I know exactly, what was going on. When other things came out. I feel like those same people were kind of hush-hush there. Because other things that came out, it kind of was like, okay.
Exactly.
It was, hey, this is what it is. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was out there. When all of that came out, when everything came out, what do you feel, what do you think was going through the heads of other people that were doubting what your daughter was saying and what you were saying? When it all was said and done, when everything came out.
Well, some of those people still stood 10 toes on what they thought. They still didn't believe it. Even after all that stuff came out, rest her soul, but I have to say this. The one person that believed, even if she lied, she didn't believe me in the beginning. Rest her soul, but Monica, Shay's auntie, Junior's sister, was the first person to call me and apologize. She blew my phone up, and I was like, what's she calling me for? I'm fooling with her. And I was getting out the shower. I'll never forget. And I picked up the phone, and I said, what's up, Monica? She was like, I'm sorry. She's screaming in the phone. I'm so sorry. No, she called me Petey. That's my nickname. Petey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, what you sorry about? Like, I'm so sorry we didn't believe you. I'm so sorry we didn't believe your daughter. And then that's when everything hit the fan. And I'm not even going to tell those other girls' stories because I don't want to,
I understand.
But that's when everything came out. And everything starting from that day, I still don't know why there was still such a delay. It took a year before my daughter case even they did anything with my daughter case. My daughter case didn't come back to light until all the other stuff came out, which was a year later. And so I'm so thankful that Monica was the one. I never got an apology from anybody else. Monica was the only one.
Yeah.
The only one that called my phone to apologize. And everybody else even the ones that I got into it with, trust me, I got into it with plenty of people.
Do you feel like a lot of people in our family was upset or just they didn't want to deal with Shay Shay, or do you feel like they didn't want to deal with Shay Shay because of you?
I can look at it both ways. They probably didn't want to deal with Shay Shay because of me, due to me, because they knew her being around them, I'm gonna snap every time. Like every time I see y'all, I'm going off. And if you at this moment when I was still rowdy, if I see you, I'm probably gonna want to fight you. So I'm gonna probably start some mess. So they probably didn't want to deal with me on the strength of they knew I'm gonna go off. But now, as I grew and matured in the situation and took myself out of the situation, where y'all at now?
Yeah.
Where y'all at? Y'all don't know the depths that I've had to go through to try to help me and my daughter. It's been me. It's been me. It's been me. Nobody else. Yeah, she's had a few cousins here and there reach out and try to step in and do things to help her out. But where y'all been at? I'm looking straight in the camera. Where y'all at? Where y'all at right now? The whole Marietta damn near my daughter family.
Yeah.
Where y'all at?
Yeah.
So for everybody that get online and be talking stuff about me and trying to be what type of mama I am, y'all don't know the hell I've been through. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
My daughter is still fighting a battle now to try to get her mind right because she done dealt with so much stuff and had to hear so much stuff about me or hear so much stuff about her dad.
Yeah.
And she don't have no support from that side of the family. Y'all side, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
She don't have any support. None whatsoever. So all I can say to that is if y'all not going to be on the side of trying to help her be better, keep your mouth off of her. Keep your mouth off of me. Don't speak on me or my child or my grandson or none of that. It's a lie. It's still stuff. And I live way in Columbus, Georgia. I still hear stuff. Why are y'all still talking?
Yeah.
Like, why? I be trying to be like cool and positive, and I don't even really like people to see this side of me to get upset about stuff. But when it comes to my kids, I get irrational.
Yeah.
That's just me. Everybody know that about me.
Yeah.
I'm going in about mine.
Yeah.
And don't ever speak on a relationship about what I got when it comes to my kids.
Yeah.
Me and my kids all right.
Yeah. I know that's right, friend. I know that's
Me and my children good.
So now, I want to jump ship for a minute, okay? And I want to ask you, how did you and Jared meet?
Oh.
I knew you was going to smile.
Girl, I was having the worst day of my life. I swear, this one I work way out in like Ball Ground, Georgia. A lot of people don't even know what that's at. That's going towards Blue Ridge. So I used to work way out there.
Okay.
So got off work, I think. I was stuck in traffic, so I was mad about that. And then got a call that Zari was sick, so I had to rush try to get to her school. And I remember having to stop at CVS right there in Hiram. And I remember I got out the car, and I know I had the worst look on my face. You know when they always be like them mad black women. Oh, I was a mad black woman that day. I was just so frustrated with life that day because I just felt like, oh, single mama stuff. I'm so sick of doing it. Well, I wish I had some help. You know, I'm talking to myself out loud. And I'm walking into CVS, and then I remember I was walking back out. I saw him standing there on the phone, but I ain't think nothing of it. And then I'm walking back out, and my hair, I had just had my fresh braids, so they was looking fine. And he was just like, I like your braids. But I didn't know that's what he said. I thought he said something, and I was literally putting my foot in the car, and I looked back at the car. I'm like, what you say? Like I'm ready to go to war. Like I'm like, what you say? And he was just like, I was just telling you I like your hair, man. I'm like, smile a little bit. You pretty, like smile. And I was just like, oh, that made my day. And then I stepped back out the car, and I stepped over there and we start communicating. And I literally called Sean and said, I think I met my husband. It was just this feeling I got when I met him. Like, I can't even describe it. I just knew he would be my husband. Like, it was just, you know, people say that. I never thought I would experience that. But I literally called Sean when I was driving off from CVS. And I was like, I think I met my husband. She's like, girl, you crazy. I was like, I'm so serious. Yeah. And me and him talked every day after that. Every day. We used to go to parks. I never had anybody just like, oh, you want to go walk in the park? He would take me to the park just to sing to me. Yeah. You want to go to the park to feed the duck? Sure. Like, you know, it was stuff that I had never experienced in relationships. Yeah. he was just so different. Like, he just come from a great family. Yeah. He had great family values. He was excited that I had kids because he didn't have children.
Yeah.
So he was excited that I already had children. Oh, ready-made family. That's all what I always wanted.
Yeah.
And we just grew and you know, we became one.
You was very private and hush-hush about
I was.
that. You know, only your close friends knew about that. How long did you guys date before you actually got married?
We started dating at the end of 2016, and we got married June 9th, 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. I started posting little pictures here and there.
Yeah.
But, you know, people knew that if I was never going to post no guy. Like, that was not my thing. Your face is not going on my Facebook page. Like, I'm not going to let some guy people think that I'm talking to you. Like, no, I'm not doing it, so I got to like you.
What was that day like for you, Naya, when you said, I do? What was that like for you?
It was like, it was everything because, you know, having my children there to experience that with me, just letting them see that, like, oh, my mama really happy, you know. So that day was like the most proudful day. You know, my sister was there. Linda had came up there. I was just so happy. Like, I never really thought, even though I dreamed of being married, like, you know, we had plenty of conversations about that late night. We'd be on the phone 2, 3 o'clock in the morning talking about stuff like that. I just never thought it would happen, but I wanted it. Like, I wanted that in my life. And so to experience that and to have experienced it with a man that I knew wholeheartedly loved me without a shadow of a doubt, loved my children. And I told him all about my life story, everything. And he never one time threw anything in my face when he got mad. He was just a special type of person. He was just different.
What is one of the greatest moments and memories that you have with Jerry?
One of the greatest memories was how he came in and just became that role model to Zari. And this is not to take anything from her father, so let me say that too, because, you know, y'all do the most. Jerry just came in, because for one, her father was in prison. He had already been in prison before me and Jerry even met. And that's something that Zari was lacking in her life. You know, my oldest 3, they were already kind of older, so... but he still stepped in and played a role in their lives as well. Yeah. But for Zari, it was just different. He just loved her. He did everything for her. Taught her a lot of things. She loved him. That was her Mr. Jerry. She called him Mr. Jerry. She did call him Dad after a while, but that was her Mr. Jerry. And so that was like the proudest moment for me, just seeing how he interacted, because people knew I wasn't finna have no man around my kids either. Yeah. So when he was able to, when he came in my life, y'all knew it had to be real. Yeah. And that was like my proudest moment, just seeing how good he was to Zari. Yeah.
What was you doing the day when you found out your husband passed away?
Okay, so I'll just take y'all back a little bit. My husband battled with some issues in his own life. You know, out of respect for his parents, his family, I won't go too deep into that. But this particular time, you know, I don't know if he had an episode or whatever, but he had left the house. I remember the plant shutting down where he worked at. And so he had to take off. I don't know if that caused him to be in distress. I'm not sure. He probably was worried about not being able to take care of his family. You know, who knows what was going on. And he went missing. You know, he was missing, and we searched and we searched and I searched all the places I knew from back home in his hometown, because I knew normally he would go back home. And then it became Christmas and we didn't hear from him, and then that would have been Grace's first Christmas, and then my birthday, that New Year's, January 1st, 2019, I'm talking to his mama like, okay, something ain't right, you know, this ain't like him. So then I went to work January the 2nd, just still like uneasy, and I remember sitting in my car at work, and I'm calling his cousin like, y'all just go check one more time, like go check over here. But at this time, I had already done filed a missing person report, because I'm already like, you know, my daughter, Nana just looked at me, she's like, Mama, you just look so stressed, just take out the report. So I called the police over there. They came, searched the backyard, because I remember they said, what was the last place he was at? And I was like, the backyard. He was sitting out there crying and stuff, whatever. They found his wallet out there. Well, they didn't find his wallet, which is strange. But then I went back a few days and looked again, and his wallet was in the backyard. So it was like, well, did he come back or whatever? But I don't know, maybe we just missed it. I'm not sure. But I was at work. His mother called me and was like, well, they found a body in the water, but they said it was a lady. And I was like, okay. She said, but go back to work. You know, in my heart, I'm like, now when I look back on it, I think she was saving me from heartache at work.
Mm-hmm.
I think that.
Yeah.
So then by the time I got home that night, that evening, I remember I was doing something. Nana had left. And then his mama called me, and she's like, I don't want to do it like this. And I'm like, what you talking about? Just go ahead and say it. I was like, she's like, you sitting down? And I'm like, okay, let me step outside, because it was just me, Grace, and Zari.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember sitting in the car, and his aunt got on the phone, rest her soul, because she's now deceased as well. And she was just like, that was, the body they found in the water was him. Mm-hmm. And when I say I lost it, mm-hmm. but I had to lose it in the car because, you know, I still got Zari and I got a baby.
Yeah.
So I had to lose it at that time in the car. I remember screaming so loud. I remember just, I don't even remember. I think I hit the dash thing with my hand, because I remember my hand was sore after that, but a lot of things I don't remember. And then I remember having to break it down to everybody else. And they didn't want to, like my brother, JT, I remember him crying, but he was just like, are you sure? Like, they didn't want to believe it. And they saw, like, I'm crying. And then at that moment, they was like, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
So it was just an indescribable feeling.
Yeah. There was a lot of rumors going around the city in regards to your husband's death.
Just weird as ever, because nobody knew him.
Yeah, I was, I kind of got upset. I remember calling you one day. I was really pissed off about something.
Mm-hmm.
That
I remember.
was, was being said or whatever. Speak on that. As far as people stating their opinions about, what was, because at the end of the day, it's your business. What was going on in your household? It's your husband. It's your life. You know what I'm saying?
It is. And, I think, for one, I have to take fault in certain areas, because I think I spoke too soon about what I thought maybe he had passed from. Mm-hmm. By this time, I didn't get my husband. First of all, I did not get my husband's autopsy till 6 months later. Mm-hmm. So imagine me in agonizing pain for 6 months, waiting to have a determination of how he died. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they found him in the water, but they still had to do the autopsy. They had to do the blood work. They had to do all of that. So all you could do was wait. But in the midst of all that, what were y'all talking about? Yeah. Like, where all that stuff came from? Like, all the people that were saying stuff and people in my inbox, and what were y'all talking about? Like, where did all that information come from? Because I never told any of y'all anything. Yeah. So if y'all based it off of a maybe, then okay, I can accept that was my bad for saying a maybe. But I never posted that on social media. Mm-hmm. I maybe spoke about it in a gathering that we had as a group at my house. So I'm pretty sure it probably got out from that. Mm-hmm. Understandable. People going to talk. People want to know how somebody died, all of that. But I think when it got set off so bad, like, it was just too much. And the thing that I have to say about this is, when people die, and yeah, you probably shouldn't post it on social media because people do want to know, mm-hmm. but it is a respect level that you have to give a family. First of all, allow the family to talk about or post about how that person died. Why does everybody feel like they need to be the first one to post about when somebody died? I've never understood that. And then most of the time, the information you putting out is inaccurate.
Okay, hold on now. We're going to take a quick break right quick, okay?
Okay. Inaccurate. That's what we're going to come back to.
And when inaccurate statements are put out, it just travels. And so then somebody else going to add something to it that don't make sense. And then somebody else going to add something to it and it doesn't make sense. And then when it get back to you, you just be sitting there like, where did all this come from? Because that's just not true.
Yeah.
So when all the stuff was coming out about my husband, nobody knew my husband, so that's what was weird. My own friends didn't know my husband. Mm-hmm. Nobody I hung around, nobody ever met my husband, ever. So for everybody to have been talking about him and saying all of these things, even if he did have his own issues, what was it y'all business?
Right.
Like, what was it y'all business? Yeah, well, why was it affecting you? The only people that should have been affected by whatever we had going on in my household, my children, my life, his family, they knew what was going on. My family knew what was going on. And I think that, and if I confided in people, mm-hmm. Tanisha I've confided in, other people that's all that matters. I just don't need to confide in everybody. Like, why does everybody feel the need to want to know everything all the time? I don't get it.
I think because it's you. And I think...
Probably.
I think because it's you, and people that know you, Naya, they know that you a humble, genuine person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like sometimes when people feel like, oh, we got a little tea on her, or we got a little dirt on her, let me run with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how is it affecting you? Like,
I've never understood it either. I don't get it.
I feel like, because it's you. You be doing your thing, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be doing your thing. And I feel like people will be sitting back, waiting. You know what I'm saying?
Waiting on my downfall, and it's not gonna happen.
I'm
so sorry.
So let's talk about it, Naya. Let's talk about it. How did you feel when you had your dream home built, honey?
Oh, so let me go back a little bit before we talk about that.
Okay.
So when Jerry passed, everybody know, like, that knocked me down.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talk about a downfall, let me restate that is the one time in my life where it was a true downfall. Because before Jerry had passed, I had just lost a good job. I had already had a good paying job. Thank God I had money to, I'm a saver. Mm-hmm. So I had money to save my family for a long time. So even after he died, I was able to, do things. But that money ran out.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't working. I was going through grief. I was doing a lot of things, trying to figure out, okay, what my next step going to be. Thought I was going to lose my house. God is good, though, because let me tell y'all something. I didn't pay a mortgage for 2 years and I didn't lose my house. But if y'all want to understand that process, I can talk about that a little deeper later. But I needed to figure out my life. And I tell everybody this. When you put in your mind that you want to be better, you can be better. Because when Jerry died, and I remember playing that clip, and I tell it all the time, that Girl Get Up clip by Sarah Jakes. That is what helped me get up. Because I'm telling you, I would go to sleep listening to that. It would be on repeat. And I would cry my eyes out. And I remember being on my knees every night just saying, God, just please take this pain away. Like, just please help me. Like, I don't know what to do. I got to be better. Like, God, help me get up. And every morning I would sit up on the sofa and I would just be like, oh, God, I still feel like this. Like, I'm going to drop the kids. I'm going to come get up under the cover and go back to sleep. That's what I did every day. Yeah. That clip's still playing, though. In the back of my mind, I kept saying, okay, you got to get your butt up, girl. You cannot be stuck in this depression. And then that one day, I woke up that morning and said, I feel better. And every day. I never let myself go back to that point. Once I got up, I was up. Yeah. And the pandemic hit, which was a blessing. People look at the pandemic as a bad thing. I got money. You hear me? I got to the money during the pandemic. My sister was working. Mind you, I was still already out of work. My sister had her business going, which was doing wonderful. She pulled me in. Come on, work with me, sis. Let's get this money. We was cleaning houses, move outs. We was doing the dang thing. Then I got a contract with Bank of America, which blessed my life tremendously. Then I got another contract with Amazon, which blessed my life again. So people was like, oh, she out here. No, y'all don't even know what I was doing. I was working. I was working my ass off during the pandemic. Yeah. And that's how it leads up to my home. I was laying in the bed one day. This was probably like September 2021. And I was already thinking about selling my house at that time. But I kept looking at the numbers and I'm like, no, I'm going to wait. I may refinance. I may, rent it out. And I was like, if I'm going to move, though, I'm like, I got to do it big. Like, I want to do it. And I remember just laying there like, I'm going to just keep it for a little bit longer. Yeah. And then one night I was laying in the bed and I just heard this voice say, just get your house built. And I didn't think I could do it, but I knew I could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was fear there. But I believe in doing anything. Even if you're scared, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do anything I put my mind to. So I just talked to Miss Sherry, my realtor. Shout out to Miss Sherry.
Hey, Miss Sherry Edwards.
Miss Sherry got the ball rolling. I started getting my house in order where I was living at in Hiram. Sold everything. I sold almost my whole house because I knew that's what I wanted to do, and the house. Made a guap off of that, and in the process, I lived in the Airbnb. People don't even know I lived in the Airbnb for 2 months. That's what I'm saying. Like, people be thinking like, oh, I'm just like, no, I'm playing all right, but I'm getting money and I'm doing what I need to do. Take care of my kids by myself, because I can't a soul say I asked them for a thing. So I lived in an Airbnb for 2 months while my house was already in the process of being built, but I wanted to stay in Hiram so Zari could finish school because she was in graduating 5th grade, and stayed in an Airbnb. I had already sold my house, stayed in an Airbnb for 2 months. And then that day they called and said, your house ready, come on and view it. I had been going back and forth looking at it and everything. And went down there, and then I think I closed on May 22nd, 2022. And that was, the best day of my life. It was something that I envisioned a long time ago. Like, that wasn't, I knew I could do it when I was younger. I thought about it because I even started a process back then, but my credit wasn't good. my money wasn't right, you know, and I just wasn't ready. It wasn't, God was like, it just ain't time for you to buy no house yet.
Yeah.
To be able to carry a big house like that with the big note and all of that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I do all that by myself. So I'm just letting y'all know
doing it.
I'm a G to this thing. I'm just saying.
Let me tell you something.
I'm just saying.
They be complimenting your house all the time.
Thank you.
And you, I don't think you understand, Naya, that you really be motivating a lot of people.
Thank you. I try. I really strive to do that because in the midst of that, you know you're going to have some haters.
Oh, yeah.
You know you're going to have people that's going to be questioning how you do what you do. And if I always tell people, you don't have to hate. If you really want to know how somebody do what they do, just ask.
Just ask them.
Just ask, because I'm always open to teaching people. I know a lot about a lot. That's what I tell people all the time. I know a lot of things about a lot of things. And if I'm able to help you, I'm not scared. I may not even charge you for my knowledge. You know how some people be out, which I probably should, because a lot of people be in my inbox. I'm like a counselor, a financial advisor, and grief counselor, whatever you need. I probably have done that for you.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like, if you could just put your mind to whatever you want to do, you can do it.
And now you have achieved it, child. I'm telling you, bachelor's degree. I mean,
master's degree.
You go on, honey.
Thank you.
You do it, and you know, Cicely and I we talk about your house more than you know. Like,
for real?
Yes. Like,
Thank
oh
you.
my God, when you posted your house, like, I was so happy for you because I know where you came from. You know what I'm saying? And I know how hard you worked your butt off to have everything that you have, and to be a single mom doing it.
All of it.
Like, I take my hat off to single moms. Like, you know, like I said, I saw what you did firsthand. I see what some of my other friends, I wasn't a single mom. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when I look at it now, I see it like, y'all get up and y'all go. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like when you was going through some things, do you feel like, and when you was going through the thing with your husband, do you feel like people was there for you? Let's talk about that.
I think in the beginning, and this is just not with my husband, I think that's just it comes with death. And I was angry, you know, I was angry with you for a while. I'm just gonna be honest. You came around, you know, you spent the night over there, and then it was just like, everything just was like hush, like, but in the midst of that, it's like, I'm still grieving, I'm still hurting, I'm still, but as time went on, I said, you know what, I can't be mad at anybody because they still have their life too. And maybe sometimes people don't understand how to address somebody that's going through grief. They don't know how to be there for that person. And sometimes people believe that people want you to just take a step back. And honestly, after a while, I did, because I was overwhelmed at first. I was and I'm sorry that I didn't talk to you about being upset with you for not being there. I probably should have talked to all of my friends about that.
And it's okay. You know, that is okay. We're going to take a quick break, okay?
Okay.
Y'all know what time it is.
Y'all know what time
It's
it
that
is.
real talk, straight talk with the
You know
royal
what it
queen.
is. It's straight talk with the royal queen.
Y'all know what time it is. It's straight talk with the royal
We
queen.
straight talking
Yes,
with the royal
baby.
queen right now.
It's that time when you finna hit that real talk, straight talk with the royal queen.
Now, I want to ask you a question. If you can go back and give the 18-year-old Naya advice, what would it be?
Girl, sit down somewhere. Like, when I was 18, I just wanted to just be free. Even though I had my kids, I had 2 kids by this time. Yeah, so it was Nana and Shay. Sorry. If I could just tell my 18-year-old self, like, I would just say, girl, sit down. Like, why are you rushing so much stuff? Like, I just felt like, you know, I had already moved out my mama's house. You know, I was staying with my sister. We had our own place. We were just doing everything so fast. And I would just say, girl, sit down, you know, enjoy your life. Wait to have children, you know, I was already a mama by then, but I would still wait. I would tell young people now, like, enjoy your life before you have kids. Like, set yourself up to where you don't have to struggle. If you don't have to move out of your parents' house young, don't do that. Like, why are you doing that? Like, wait and do everything in order so that when you do get out in the world, you straight. Like, don't, girl, if I could go back, I would just be a good little 18-year-old doing everything I needed to do and who's truly to say what the correct order is, honestly.
Yeah.
But as an 18-year-old, just rushing to want to live life and do everything, I would definitely have slowed down.
Yeah, because we were grown.
We was, girl.
Child, we were grown when we was 14.
Girl, doing too much. Partying, all those things.
Oh, yeah.
Too much.
Now, what is the most important lesson you've learned over the years?
One of the first and foremost important lesson that I learned over the years is everything just isn't all bad.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, I saw a lot of bad stuff, and then, you know, hating people and just mad at my life. And I just had to learn that, you know, this is the hand that God dealt me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to do the best, whether it's good or bad, to make it out of those situations. Mm-hmm. And never, ever give up on anything.
Yeah.
I'm just not a person to give up on anything in life. I don't care how hard it is. At least I know I tried it. So
yeah.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Always. So that was something very important I had to teach myself, because I used to be so hard on myself about a lot of stuff. And then stuff that really wasn't even as bad as I made it out to be.
That's a good thing, though.
It is,
but
like it isn't, because why are you beating yourself up over things that you can't change?
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like being hard on yourself is what made Naya the woman that she is today.
Yeah, and then a little bit of anxiety squeezed in there over the years, too. So those are the parts that I don't like, because I was so hard on myself that I developed. I think I forced myself into anxiety. Started having anxiety and stuff, and then that got worse. And then, of course, when Jerry passed, anxiety got even worse. So it's just certain things that you have to learn that you can't control everything. You got to live your life the best that you can for you. If you have children, try to be well for your kids.
Oh, yeah.
And just stop worrying about stuff. Like, I don't really worry. I truly don't worry about what other people got going on.
Oh, yeah.
My friends, if you call me, you need to listen to ear. Of course, I care about what you have going on. It's a select few of people that I truly want to be involved in their lives and what's going on. All others, you know, if they reach out for advice, I'm here to give it. But I just don't insert myself in certain things anymore, because I just do me.
Now, what do you do to get a peace of mind?
I just love being at my house, girl. I love my house.
No, girl, it's beautiful.
I love my house. My peace
beautiful.
of mind is at home. I'm truly a homebody. I'm always trying to figure out something that I can decorate or change in the house. I don't really club much anymore. Like, if I come down here, I might go out with my sister if we can catch up. If we can, if not, my peace of mind is at home. Yeah. I truly love being at home.
You posted a picture of your daughter the other week here in the house, and I'm like, is she gonna give us a little more than this? Child, I'm looking at this. Look, I'm doing the phone like this. I'm like, is she gonna give us a little more than this? And I started to come in and say, well, can we get a tour? Because it's beautiful, Naya. I'm telling you, girl, it's beautiful. Naya, is there anything that you want to clear the air about? Anything at all?
You know, I thought about if I knew coming here that there's a possibility that you would ask that question. But I just want to look in the camera and say this, because truthfully, I don't want to clear up anything. I feel like people are going to think what they think anyway. So I'm going to let y'all think what y'all think about me. And y'all can just keep watching and trying to figure out my life, or you can ask questions if you want to. But I'm not clearing up anything. I at this point in my life, I'm 42 years old. I know I look damn good to be 42, by the way. I'm 42 years old now, and I truly just don't have the energy to clear up anything. Let people think what they think, and I'm going to be this in my eyes, so it don't even matter. I truly don't have anything to clear up. I truly
think that
don't.
comes with being 40 now. You know, I think in our 40s we realize people gonna think what they want to think. People gonna believe what they want to believe.
Yes.
Hey, it is what it is.
You can go round and round in circles trying to tell your truth. Even with this interview right here and me speaking on the things about my life, people are going to slice it and dice it any way they want to and say, oh, she lying. And people's mind is already made up about you. It don't matter how good of a person you are. Some people can't move past who you used to be because they still stuck on who they are and who they used to be. And still doing those same things that they used to do 25 and 30 years later. So that they're going to always have issues with you and who you are and who you've become, how you done bossed up, how you make your money, how you look good. And I'm just saying, like, people really just have this notion of their mindset is, this is the person that I see her as, and I'm never gonna move past that person.
Yeah.
So I really don't care. I know who I am.
Yeah.
I know what my bank account look like. I know how hard I work for my children. I know my children are good. I know one of my daughters finna become a cybersecurity specialist.
Oh, yeah.
I know my son gonna make it into the music industry. I know Grace gonna run track because she fast as ever. Zari gonna be in her drama, and Shay gonna overcome all the things that she has and become her poet that she want to become.
I know that's right.
So I don't really care about what nobody else talking about when it come to me and mine. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, ain't none of y'all gonna say nothing to me in my face because you just not. And if you do have an issue with me, I'm very open to discussing how you feel. Like we're adults now, so you should be able to communicate with somebody how you truly feel without it being an issue. Yeah. So if you do want to discuss something with me about this interview, about anything, don't come at me with some rah-rah stuff. We can have an open communication about something if you feel like I've said words that I shouldn't say it, or you feel a certain type of way. But other than that, then nah, I don't really care how y'all feel for real.
Do you feel like you have outgrown some friends and lost a few friends along the way because of the change that you have made in life?
Yeah, I look at it as not necessarily outgrowing people, because they could say themselves that they outgrown me as well. Has time caused a lot of separation? Of course it has. I'm in where I am in my life, and I'm hoping that those that we're not in each other's lives anymore, that they are happy in their lives. They do know that my phone is always open. My number been the same for the last 15, 20 years, so they can call my phone. I probably could call theirs as well, but I think when COVID hit, it separated a lot of people, and those people didn't find a way back to each other. Yeah. And life just kept on moving, and everybody got involved with more stuff. Other people got married, had more kids, and life just kept moving. And, sometimes that happened, and I want people to know that because that happens doesn't mean that there's a beef. People move on apart from each other's lives, and that doesn't mean there's a beef there. Life just has moved on, and that doesn't mean I've outgrown you or you've outgrown me. We just don't hang together no more, and that's fine. That doesn't mean that there's not any love, because I love all the people I grew up with. Through and through to the end of time, I'm always going to have major love for everybody I grew up with. Yeah. Always.
Yeah. Now, why do you think our friendship have lasted this long?
I think for one, because we look at each other more like family, for one. And, even though sometimes family grows apart, but I just know that we have always been two people that can come to each other about anything with no judgment. We just been open about talking about stuff, and even in the times we separated, we always pick right back up like it was like it's never been a separation. And it's always been a mutual respect level. We've pushed each other. You've always told me that you felt like I could do this, and I believed in you. And friendships last because of that. You have to see those things. You have to hear that from your friends. Oh, I believe in you. You have to hear those things. So I think us being able to talk to each other about those type of things is one of the major reasons why we've survived all these crazy years. Yeah, loving each other like we do. Yeah.
Now, Naya, I do want to ask you one thing about Zari's dad. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I met Wine when I was like young. Like, people thought that I had just started kicking it with him. I met Wine when I was like 18 or 19 years old. That's when he was like heavy in the game. He had all the J's. He made sure I got to work and gave me money, gave me cab fare, whatever. He was there. So we had a friendship, and then I don't know what happened. I think he moved back to Alabama, so I didn't see him for years. He came back to Georgia. Me and him hooked back up, talked for a little while, blah, blah, had a child. It wasn't, we tried to date, I think it was. It just didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? And then I found out about him and his other baby mama. And so a lot of people thought I was bitter about that, but that wasn't even the case. But we don't have to really go into that. Like I said, I show respect for everybody, and as much respect for her as well. But hearing about his passing, people ask that I have a feeling about it. So I was already numb. I had already numbed my heart to death, period. Like, my heart is so numb to death, and that was just because of the passing of my husband. Yeah. So I need people to know that because I didn't post about it, that doesn't mean that I didn't cry. That doesn't mean that I didn't care.
It didn't affect you.
It didn't affect me. All of those things happen. But I have to say, I respect his other baby mama more because she loved him. It wasn't any love, but me and him hadn't even spoken. So it wasn't any love. My daughter hadn't seen him in a while. But that doesn't mean that the situation didn't affect me because I know how bad it affected my daughter. I haven't reached out to her. I truly don't know what to say, being honest, because I know she's hurting. I know she's in pain. I know those kids are hurting. I saw how they reacted at the funeral. I was there. She was there. The children were there. I know all of them are hurting. So for people to sit back and say that, oh, I didn't care or I didn't show any emotion, y'all don't know that. I just didn't broadcast it because I felt like that wasn't my place.
Yeah.
I felt like I did what I needed to do behind the scene.
Right.
I was there. My daughter still deals with it. She still cries because she did not only lose her biological father, she's also a stepfather as well. So I still have to deal with that. So people always get this notions of I don't this and I didn't that. Trust me, a lot of tears have been shed at his passing. And I still cry, especially when my daughter cries. Yeah. I see when Melissa is hurting because I know how bad it's bothering her. I've been there. I know how hard it is to lose somebody you truly, truly love. I know how hard it is for her kids to wake up and not have the man there that's their father, and my daughter, that's their father, and they can't call him. So people just got it wrong. Like, that's why people just be having things so wrong. And because everybody don't broadcast everything on social media, they think that, oh, somebody don't care. Trust me, I care. Yeah. I'm still in contact with his family. I talk to his mama every other day. I talk to his sister. Another thing I need to clear up. I said I didn't want to clear it. I wasn't gonna, those type of things I'm not clearing up about my life. But this is when it comes to this situation. It's unfortunate that this situation has happened. And the person has been arrested who caused this accident. And I think the thing that bothers me the most is all the support that this person is getting. And I just want to ask y'all, like, I respect how y'all feel because that's y'all girl. I don't know her like that. But this girl has, if you go and look at her charges, she did a lot and she affected a lot of people. But why are y'all showing so much support to her? Have y'all reached out and saw how the kids was doing? How his sister and his mom and his brothers? Y'all supporting the wrong person because vehicular homicide, that's just what it was.
So when you say supporting her, because I don't missed out on this.
Oh, yeah, she's arrested. She's been arrested.
Okay.
Yeah, she went to jail. She got a whole slew of charges. And it's just unfortunate. Like, that accident that happened that took Leonard Johnson's life could have been avoided. She was drunk. She was under the influence of drugs. She turned on the wrong way street. According to the paperwork, she did that deliberately. All of these things could have been avoided. He could still be here with his children. And I don't like when people say, oh, free so-and-so. No, don't free so-and-so. No, what y'all screaming at for? Before y'all do that, think about the families that have been affected by this. This is hard. And another thing is weird to me, like, when people die, like, it's like everybody just stops, like, I don't see y'all posting about him. Where all the posts at? Like, this was y'all boy, though. I don't see nobody reaching out to check on his kids. I ain't heard from not one person that's checked on, that I know he hang with. Ain't nobody checked on Zari. Besides his family, of course. Yeah. So, it's just a lot of things that I really want y'all to take into consideration when y'all be putting stuff on social media. And think about, before y'all post it, how it affects the family.
Right. Absolutely.
Think about that. That's all I have to say. Just think about the effects that it has in this whole situation, how bad what it has caused, especially dealing with his children.
Yeah. Naya, thank you for coming today.
You're welcome.
And sitting down. Like I said, I know you're very private, and I thank you so much for just coming and opening up about some things, and I definitely want you to come back. This is not the last time. I definitely want you to come back. But thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too.
So much.
You know that, girl.
And keep doing everything that you're doing. I'm super, super proud of you, okay?
Thank you.
Just know they watching, honey.
I know.
They might
Trust
be,
me.
honey.
And I'll be back soon. I'll be back sooner than y'all think because I've got a book that's coming out.
Oh, yes.
And then I'm working on something else that I'm going to talk about. So when that book drops, I got to be back.
You got to come back. Oh, yeah. Come on back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, this is the episode with the Royal Queen. We had Naya Williams stop by today, and I thank you guys so so much for watching.
Y'all know what time it is.
Y'all know what time
It's
it
that
is.
real talk, straight talk
Ooh,
with the
you
royal
know what
queen.
it is.
With the
It's
royal
straight
queen.
talk
Hey,
with the
check
royal
in straight
queen.
talk with the royal queen.
Y'all know what time it is. It's straight talk with the royal
We
queen.
straight talking with
Yes,
the royal
baby.
queen right now.
It's that time when you finna hit that real talk, straight talk with the royal queen.